I do my best to keep all my scraps and reuse them. And if you were hanging around here a couple weeks ago, you may have watched me make this epic hat. What you might not have seen is the large amount of extra bits I cut off the bottom because it was far too long. And in my normal fashion, I kept all of it. I placed it all nice and neatly, sort of neatly, in this bag, hoping to use it in the future. And well, it didn't take me that long to come up with a plan for all of this. In fact, I might need more. You see, I love things that are extra. A big hat that's a flower, a bodycon dress with a fluffy bottom. I was not put on this earth to be a minimalist. No, I was put on this earth to create ridiculous and fun things. And that, my friends, is what we're going to do with the rest of these sparkly scraps. So what am I making, you ask? A tinsel jacket, of course. The cutoff pieces are very long, and I think if I cut them into a couple different lengths, this will be like pretty perfect and give me a lot of extra for the jacket itself. But before I can get cracking on this project, I need to find a base to stick everything to. A jacket or a cut shirt, something along those lines to put everything connected to it.
I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here yet. Maybe an actual real jacket or a long sleeve shirt that I can cut open. Either way, I'm just going to kind of walk around and pick up whatever looks good. But it's also a little dangerous for me to be here because this is a store full of projects. It can't be trusted. I just bought 3 Christmas trees.
So I am back and I have the jacket. I actually ended up getting a literal jacket. I love going to the thrift store because this jacket was like $2. And that is such a win when I'm just going to cover it in something and I'm not spending a lot of money to do that. So perfect find. So there's a couple ways I could go about adding the tinsel onto the jacket. I could do it in little strips like this, and I think I would cut them probably about here maybe so that I could just overlay them a bunch of times. I am kind of worried that if I did that, the duct tape is going to show underneath it, and I really don't want that. But this honestly is a really easy way to do it because it just sticks to the duct tape and then it's basically done. But like I said, I have some concerns about that. I could still use tape, but maybe the clear kind, and that would work better. Or I could get some ribbon and try and sew it onto the ribbon and then sew it onto the jacket. I'm not quite sure what's going to work best here. But what I do know is this is going to be a long and tedious process, and I wasn't thinking about that when I decided to put this together. I thought about that when I put this together. But I'm already committed to this idea, so let's see which of the 3 methods work the best. I started out by trying the tape methods, really already regretting the choice to make this jacket because of how long each of these ideas is even taking me to test out. I started grabbing anything I thought would work out that I had on hand. Lots of mistakes were made, followed by a lot of frustration and deep thoughts. So I still don't really know what I should be doing, and I think I'm just gonna have to play with this for a while and really determine what I should be doing because none of this is looking good to me. So if I stack this on top of this, you can kind of see through it and you can see the duct tape underneath it. You can't if I use clear tape, which maybe that is the best way. You can't see that if I stack it over top of each other. I even tried to sew it together by itself, which that wasn't pretty. And then I used that stuff that you iron on to glue things to fabric, like liquid stitch or whatever it's called. So I tried that and that's just really messy. It didn't work out the way I wanted. The only other thing I can think of is to just literally hot glue pieces on, but I don't think this will stick to hot glue very well. So I'm just gonna keep practicing, or maybe probably doing the clear tape method because I think this will work the best, but I don't know. I'm kind of at a pickle here. I don't know what really to do. Okay, I went home and thought up a whole new way of doing this. First off, I decided that the clear tape is the best possible option for this. It is also taking far too long to take each little tiny strand and lay it down on tape individually and do one strand at a time. So I came up with a solution for that. This cardboard sheet. Basically what I did is I put a piece of tape here upside down, tape here upside down, and then another one at the bottom upside down and taped it to the edges so that I could do 3 strands at a time and knock them out faster. So far it's worked really well and hopefully I can just knock the rest of this out really quickly. It still does take a little bit of time, but it's a lot faster than individual strands. All right, let's hopefully knock this out really quick.
A few moments later.
Oh my god, this is taking forever.
Okay, I finished using up all the little individual strands from the hat leftovers. And luckily, I have an extra from when I was making the hat. I just bought an extra one just to have it, which is good because I'm definitely going to need it. But here's the thing. This is still not a fast process, like at all. It's taken me about 7 hours to get what I have strung up. So for this next one, I think I'm going to try and do what I did on the little piece of cardboard on a much larger scale, but with tables. I've got 2 tables in front of me, and what I'm thinking I'll do, just like I did with the cardboard, is string tape from one side to the other, upside down, and then take the strands and lay them down flat so that I can make like 5 really long strands at once. And then once we get to the bottom, take that one, cut it, pull it up to the top, and it can keep going. Just putting these strands all in a really nice, neat, straight line is just a lot of work, but I think this will be faster. I hope this will be faster. Please be faster. I guess technically it is faster, and it did work, but it is also still very time consuming to lay all the pieces out straight. I think it was a better plan though than doing it all individually, but it still was a lot of work. This project wasn't supposed to be this long or tedious. I just wanted a fun jacket. Yes, I realize I'm complaining at this point, but I'm not good with repetitive activities. Like, really, I'm not. It's not my thing. We need to have a talk. So this jacket is technically finished, but I hate it. There's a couple things going on with this jacket that are just really testing my patience, and this whole project has tested my patience. Basically what's happening is, this is my fault. I cut the hood off of the jacket because it had like a raincoat hood. And by me doing that, I made the top of your neckline a little too big, and there's no real way for me to fix that. The second issue is that the arms kind of like hang out like this. I can't put my arms down! They move when your arms are in it, but it's not very flexible. It's not a good fabric for this particular project. I wasn't thinking about that when I bought it. I also cut out the zipper, and that looks really weird now too. So I've been thinking about how I should be fixing this, and the only couple of things that are coming to mind are to literally take everything off of the jacket and put it on a new one, or just say screw it and deal with what it looks like, and that's the jacket. And you know I can't just leave it alone because I know what it looks like and I know that the issues are there and I hate it. So I bought a new jacket. This jacket I think is going to work much better. I'm not going to cut anything about this jacket. It is what it is. And I'm going to literally take everything off of this jacket and put it onto this one, hopefully within a couple of hours, because I have somebody coming in to photograph it. So wish me luck, because I am totally mentally finished with this project. Like, I am so done. Oh look, more frustration face that I can't get the strips off the jacket. Thankfully, it was all super easy to pull off after this. Honestly, this whole jacket project just made me so tired. Thankfully, gluing it all back together was probably the easiest part of everything altogether. We took it outside to photograph it. It was such a fun jacket to see out in the wild, finally finished and finally wearable. There are a couple spots that could use a little extra sparkle, but that is something that I'll fix at a later date. For now, I'm just going to admire it as it is. Let's talk about some wins and loses when it comes to this jacket, because there were a lot of them. I think if I was able to find something like this that was already pre-made, I would be willing to make this jacket again. But quite honestly, this was the hardest part of making the whole jacket. Putting it together was super easy. It took a little while, but like super easy. This is what took probably 2 to 3 days to string all together. And if you couldn't tell by now, that's not my thing. I really hated it. That was a terrible task, and I never want to do it again. But if I could find this pre-ready to go, maybe. Or if I actually didn't care that they were like sitting so close next to each other, which I learned a little later on that you don't have to string them up next to each other so closely and they look perfectly fine. They can be messy and it's fine. I think I could do it again, but if I was like meticulously putting these together, absolutely not. I'm super out at that point. Also, maybe don't pick a jacket with a hood on it, because that, I think, was a big downfall of the whole jacket being put together in general. I cut way too much of that jacket off. Like, I cut the zipper off, I cut the hood off, I cut the arms up like a little shorter, and some of that was fine, but the hood is what really screwed up that jacket. So if you're gonna get a jacket, follow the structure it already has and you'll be fine. Like, if you want to use a hooded jacket, I think you actually have to keep the hood. And I guess if you're going to make one of these, just make sure you have a lot of time, because I thought this project was going to take like maybe, I don't know, like a day and a half at most. This took a week and 3 days. If you're watching this now, this video is 3 days late. But now let's talk about some wins. The jacket is really cute. Like, the final jacket itself is adorable. And I do want another jacket. I want it in like 2 more colors, but I don't know if I'm willing to put myself through that to make 2 more jackets. But that's one huge win, and probably my only win that I have right now, because I'm angry at it still, I think. But if you're in the area, please book a shoot to wear that jacket so that I don't feel like I just wasted a lot of time making it. Pretty please book a shoot to wear that jacket. Like, seriously, please do it. But anyway, if you are familiar with this being pre-made, let me know in the comments, because that would help a lot with making future things like this. And if you know of a better, easier solution on how to make this happen, you can also maybe tell me that too. But that's all I've got for now, and I will see you next time.